Full potential toward independence.
From Doran Park in Bourne, Massachusetts, this is Braves Baseball alongside Jordan Palacio. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. Tonight, the YD Red Sox come into town to take on the Braves after Bourne split the doubleheader yesterday against Chatham. Jordan, we saw a lot yesterday. Break down both games for us last night.
Yeah, so game one, it's kind of a tough one to go over, Sam. 8-2 loss. J.P. Woodward, who got the start, really had a rough go of it, got knocked around a little bit. And to clean up his mess, Sean Harney was brought in. And what does he do? 2 batters in? Well, he gives up a grand slam. And after that, that was pretty much all she wrote. In the second game, we saw a lot better team than in the first game, which has kind of led to the record where it stands right now because this team has been very inconsistent. In that second game, we saw Ryan Cusick go 5 innings strong, only giving up 4 hits and throwing 8 strikeouts. And then coming in to save the game, Tyler Brocious, the submarine machine, if you will, Samuel. He has not given up a hit the entire Cape League season, and Bourne was able to get the 4-2 win in that one.
Now, the YD Red Sox entered tonight's game in last place in the East Division, but only trailed by 3 points to first. And Jordan, this YD team has the top overall batting average in the league as well.
They do, and they also have the most runs scored as a team so far in this season as well, averaging about 6.5 runs a game per so. And you have to look at the lineup. Andrew Eister here for the Red Sox. He's going to be the main out to get. 522 average. Yeah, I said that right. That's 5-2-2. 3 home runs, leads the league in RBIs. It's going to be a good game for this Bourne pitching staff. It's going to be a real litmus test.
Brad Beasley, the leadoff batter for the Red Sox, steps in against Mac Lardner, who comes in for the second time, his second start in the 2019 summer. His first pitch is low and inside, and we are underway. It's Brad Beasley leading off. Luke Waddell in the second spot for the Red Sox. Andrew Eister in the third spot. Austin Wells cleanup. Riley King, Riley Tarota, Tate Samuelson, as there's a second pitch low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Noah Cardenas at the number 8 spot, and R.J. Yeager rounds out the lineup for the YD Red Sox. Here's the 2-0 from Lardner. It's swung out, ground ball to Xavier Warren, who gets tonight's start at third base. Throw first, and there's the first out of the inning.
That's a good first at-bat there for Mac Lardner. We saw him last in the Orleans game, the nightcap of that doubleheader, and he made a lot of great pitches. That one held a pretty weak Orleans offense. Didn't let him do much. Ended up getting a no decision in that one, but Bourne did go on to win that game. Falls behind 2-0, but did a nice job to get a ground out there.
Luke Waddell steps in, swings at the first pitch, ground ball right back to Lardner. Moves to his left side, throw to first is in time, and there's 2 quick outs for Mac Lardner. Let's take a look at how the Braves line up defensively. It's Lardner on the hill for today's game. Paul Gaza behind the plate. The big debut of first baseman Nick Bruiser from Stanford. He's at first today. Cody Morissette gets his first start at second base. Alika Williams at short. Xavier Warren at third. Alec Burleson in left field. Judd Fabian, his second game with the Braves in center field. And Kyler Fedko over in right with A.J. Curtis DHing. And that'll bring up Andrew Eiser, the DH, in the number 3 spot with 2 outs. First pitch to him is low from Lardner for a ball. Starts him off 1-0.
And for Eister, he is kind of comparable to Spencer Torkelson, who we saw a lot of last night, where if you make one bad pitch, he'll make you pay for it.
Eister will foul it off toward the backstop. Evens up 1 ball, 1 strike. Eister, 3 home runs on the season. That's actually tied for the league lead with his teammate, Austin Wells, who comes up next. Eister in the doubleheader against Falmouth yesterday, homered in both games. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Off speed, he gets him swinging, and Eister falls behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lardner.
And that's a good pitch there from Lardner, being able to mix up speeds. 1-2 with 2 outs. I'd like to see Lardner go right at Eister here. Really show him who's in control.
Lardner comes set. Here's the 1-2 from the lefty to Eister. That ball pops out of Gazzo's glove a little upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Eister. Eister in the DH spot today. This YD Red Sox team leads the league average. A 5-4-1 team that's somehow in last place in a very competitive East Division. The 2-2, Eister fouls it off first base side and out of play. YD in last place in the East right now with 11 points. It's a 3-way tie for first with Orleans, Chatham, and Brewster, all with 13 points. Now, West Division, a little bit of a different story. Bourne sits at 4th place. Here's the 2-2 yet again to Eister. Down the middle and can't get the call on the fastball, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And that was a good pitch there from Lardner. Just missed. I assume below the knees. It was placed over the plate. Just not getting the call from the umpire back there. Now to make something happen here, 3-2.
Payoff from Lardner, and Eister swings at it, comes back and hits him in the foot, so we'll do it again, 3-2. Eister, the rising junior from South Carolina, transferred from Santa Fe College in Florida following his freshman year, batted .309 in his sophomore year at South Carolina. 10 home runs, 32 RBIs. And the previous year at Santa Fe, batted .413. Payoff yet again from Lardner. He gives it away. It's a ground ball over to Alika Williams, who fields it cleanly. Throw to Bruiser over at first is in time. And it's no runs, no hits for the YD Red Sox. 1, 2, 3. They go down in order. We head to the bottom of the first inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. Zero score going to the bottom of the first inning. The Braves taking on the YD Red Sox. Let's take a look at how the Braves line up today. Xavier Warren leads it off playing third base. Alika Williams in the 2 spot playing shortstop. Alec Burleson goes to left field. He's in the 3 spot. A.J. Curtis, the designated hitter today, batting cleanup. Nick Bruiser, we talked about him in the open. He has his coveted debut here. He's in the number 5 spot playing first. Paul Gazzo, the catcher. Kyler Fedko returns here today playing right field. Judd Fabian in center field and Cody Morissette at second. They'll be going up against Trent Denholm, who is with YD for the second season.
Yeah, and he came in last season more as a long reliever. Get this, Sam, was an all-star, did not allow a single earned run all season. Only 1 run total. And that was against Brewster back in that season. So far for YD, he's thrown 1 game, a game which he started through 3 innings and has finally given up. Actually, still has not given up. Not given up an earned run. So he's still perfect so far in the year.
First batter he faces is Xavier Warren, who fouls off a pitch on the third base side that hits the backstop. Warren comes into this at-bat, batting .185, a 1-for-5 game in Game 2 against Chatham with 2 RBIs and a strikeout. The 0-1 is very off-speed outside from Denholm. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And for Xavier Warren, we thought we saw kind of an emergence onto the scene. But since then, the bat has been ice cold.
Denholm stares down Cardenas, the catcher. Here's the 1-1. Xavier Warren rockets a ball third base side that falls into foul territory. And Xavier Warren now behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Warren, 6 RBIs lead the team. He's collected those in 2 separate games. 4 RBIs against Falmouth about a week and a half ago, and 2 RBIs last night. Here's the 1-2, rocketed down third base yet again, and it's foul. So we'll do 1 ball, 2 strikes again for Xavier Warren.
And Warren's doing a nice job there, really just staying with the pitch, taking the ball where it's thrown. Pitch on the outside part of the play. Don't try and pull that, push it to the opposite side.
1-2 from Denholm is off speed. That's upstairs to Warren. 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
And that's the second time we've seen that off-speed pitch in this at-bat. And Denholm is having some trouble with the command so far in the early going, both missing up and outs, which is not where you want to locate an off-speed.
Here's the 2-2 to the Braves' third baseman. That fastball is high and outside, and the count will run full for Xavier Warren. 3 balls and 2 strikes. This game, a makeup game for The Braves that were supposed to take on YD at home 2 weeks ago. That game got rained out as so many others did. Here's the 3-2 from Denholm. That one, a fastball right on the outside part of the zone, and Xavier Warren goes down looking to start off the Braves hitting.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. It was a great pitch from Denholm, and for Xavier Warren, he's one of those guys that you pull for. You want to see him do better up there at the plate. Takes a tough pitch that catches the black on the outside corner. Now the Braves looking for Alika Williams to start us off.
Williams, the shortstop, in the number 2 spot today, watches the first ball a little too inside from Denholm for ball 1. Williams from Arizona State. Right now a .323 average for the Braves. 10 for 31 on the season so far. The 1-0 catches the inside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a 1 for 4 game in the second game of the doubleheader against Chatham. A 4-2 win for the Braves. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Denholm. Williams, slow little ground ball over to short, picked up by Luke Waddell. Throw to first is in time, and Alika Williams is retired. 2 up, 2 down.
And Waddell making that play look a little easier than it actually was. A slow roller. Waddell has to be very fast and getting to the ball, scooping it up, and throwing all in one motion. He does so beautifully. And now we have the newly shaven Alec Burleson there, Sam.
You're right. Alec Burleson, who just shaved today, got a haircut and steps in for his first plate appearance of the day and watches strike 1 down the middle. Burleson struggling at the plate. 0 for 2 with 2 walks in the second game against Chatham. Has a 174 average. Hasn't gotten a hit since the walk-off single he got against Orleans in the second game of that doubleheader 2 Sundays ago. The 0-1 is outside, doesn't get the call, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Alec Burleson.
And Burleson didn't say, this is not about tradition, just cleaning it up for Team USA, which I guess they have a Yankees-type rule with the facial, which I wasn't aware of over there, Sam.
1-1 to Burleson. Burleson sends that ball to second base. A little floater, and R.J. Yeager is right there and sets Burleson down. 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits for the Bourne Braves. 0-0. We head to the top of the second inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1994, holds over 1,000 events nationwide for players in both high school and middle school, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, with thousands drafted and more than 500 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness. 4, 5, 6 batters due up for the YD Red Sox in the top of the second inning against Mac Lardner. It'll be Austin Wells, Riley King, and Riley Terada. And Wells, we mentioned that 3 home run number. All 3 homers came in the doubleheader against Cotuit in the first Sunday of the season about a week and a day ago. The first pitch from Lardner is outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Wells, the left fielder today for the Red Sox. 1-0 catches the outside part of the plate on the fastball for Lardner. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Austin Wells, very highly touted, coming out of Bishop Gorman. And you were talking about Baseball Factory. Bishop Gorman's like a high school factory for just athletes.
1-1. Ground ball hit hard, first base side that goes foul, luckily for the Braves. And Wells finds himself behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. You're right, Bishop Gorman, just an incredible athletic department. Great baseball program, extremely good football program.
Oh, yeah.
Tate Martell coming out of there now with the Miami Hurricanes. Here's the 1-2. Wells, ground ball over to second base. Cody Morissette picks it up. Throw to first is in time, and there's the first out. Cody Morissette getting his first start of the season at second base. Typically plays a little bit of third, but head coach Harvey Shapiro moves him over to second for tonight's game.
Well, you and I both know, Sam, that prior to the start of the season at the Braves kind of commemorative first pitch dinner, that Harvey Shapiro said that Morissette was the only guy that they had in the infield before the season started. He was taking ground balls at second, short, and third. We've seen him at third a couple times, but now maybe that's paying off, seeing him up in the fourth spot on defense.
You know that Morissette can play all the way around. Here's Riley King, who aggressively swings at the first pitch from Lardner, 0-1. King playing right field for YD today. The 0-1 slaps it down the third base side foul, and he is already behind, no balls and 2 strikes.
And no 0-2 here. Lardner, I'd probably expect going to go fastball up and away, try and get King to chase.
King from the University of Georgia. Here's the 0-2 pitch to him. It's a ground ball over to short. Alika Williams charging in. Gloves it. Throw to first is in time. And there's the second out of the inning. Mac Lardner batters.
Yeah, he went off speed, down and away. And Alika Williams, we saw him make that one uncharacteristic error in the, I believe it was the first game against Chatham. But now he's just sure of that one. Maybe the only error he committed.
Truss steps in for the Dayton. 170 now. Torado from South Bend, Indiana. Moving over. Strike.
And now getting the fake of that. Perhaps English line, maybe.
2-1 pitch to ball. Catches balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs, nobody on. Taru from Lardner, check swing, pulls it back uphill to first. He did not go as the ball fell in the dirt. Paul Gazzo chased it out, and the count now runs full. 3 balls. This game still tied up at 0 here in the top of the second inning.
Yeah, and Torada, like you mentioned, only 4 hits, all of them extra base hits. So, you know, he's got a little pop in the bat. Can't make a mistake to him at 3-2.
Here's the payoff pitch to Torada. Ground ball that actually comes back and hits him. So dead ball. We'll do 3-2 yet again. This is the first home game for the Braves since last Sunday against Orleans. It's certainly good to be back at Doran Park after a rough week of rainouts. 4 rainouts in a row. Here's the payoff from Lardner to Torada. 3-2, got him swinging. And Lardner has retired the first 6 batters he's seen. 1-2-3. The Red Sox go down in the top of the second. We're headed to the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. 0-0 score heading into the bottom of the second inning. It's A.J. Curtis, Nick Bruiser, and Paul Gazzo. 4-5-6 due up for the Braves here at Doran Park. A Monday evening game against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Curtis steps in. He was 1 for 4 with a run scored in the second game against Chatham last night. Comes in with a .258 average. Here's the first pitch to him. He watches that catches the bottom part of the zone. 0-1.
And AJ Curtis, we were talking about it last night, Sam, has just been that steady guy in the lineup. He's played every single game so far for the Braves, and he's going to go out there and at least give you a 1-for-3 night.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Denholm. The ball falls low. Catcher Nick Cardenas has to scrape it out of the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike to Curtis. And you're right, he's played in every single game. Typically plays first base. This is only the second time we've seen him at the designated hitter spot. In the 3-hole for today's game, 4-hole. Here's the 1-1 ground ball over to first. Samuelson will pick it up and tap first base with his foot. There's the first out of the inning.
And now we have someone new that we have not seen yet, Nick Bruiser. He's kind of brought in as with a slate of other debuts. Still kind of on the bench right now, not activated just quite yet, but here, Giovanni DiGiacomo from Louisiana State, along with his teammate Cade Beloso, Kerry Wright, a reliever from Louisville. Henry Davis will be coming as well from Louisville.
And Bruiser swings at the first pitch that he sees, falls behind 0-1.
Yeah, and also on the way, Casey Martin from Arkansas, a middle infielder. Heston Kjerstad, thought to go to Team USA, might be coming after those tryouts. So we're into the season, but still a lot of debuts upcoming.
Bruiser fouls off the second pitch on the third base side back toward the Bourne dugout, 0-2. And certainly, Jordan, a lot to look forward to with the Braves lineup that's seen a little bit of struggles, especially yesterday in Game 1. Was only able to get 2 runs and really only average over 2 runs per game. As here's the 0-2 pitch from Denholm to Bruiser. Watches down low. There's the first ball. It's 1-2.
And you and I were kind of talking before the game, Sam. It's exciting to kind of see all these familiar faces. A lot of these guys competed in the postseason in the college baseball scene. Arkansas almost made the College World Series, the actual final 2 teams. Louisville was the third-place team that just lost to Vandy. It's exciting.
1-2 pitch to Bruiser. He watches down the middle for strike 3, and his first at-bat of the summer is a K from Trent Denholm, second out.
Yeah, not only is it a strikeout, it's the backwards K as well. Got him looking, and not the way you want to start. Bruiser struggling behind the plate a little bit with Stanford, but now it brings up Paul Gazzo, and we know Gazzo has got some pop in the bat there, Sam.
Gazzo, 231 average coming into this at-bat. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it off first base side out of play. 0-1. Went over 2 with 2 walks in the second game against Chatham last night. He was the designated hitter in that game. Pete Burns was the catcher behind the plate, but Gazzo takes over for that position here tonight. The 3-catcher system that Harvey Shapiro has been running through. Gazzo breaks the back, slow ground ball to first base, picked up by Samuelson. He'll tap the bag for out number 3, and the Braves go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We head to the top of the third inning. 0-0 score. You're watching Braves baseball on YouTube. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Stepping in for the Red Sox, the first baseman Tate Samuelson, who had a couple of plays over there at first in the top half of the third inning. He now steps in against Lardner to try and get the first hit for the Red Sox. First pitch is upstairs for a ball from Lardner, 1-0.
And Samuelson coming from Cal Poly, batted almost 300 this past year.
Fouls it off first base side. It's curving into foul territory and falls into the bleachers. That'll even up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Sam, I think it's pretty easy to tell that summer is finally here. The attendance here tonight at Doran Park is pretty good. A lot of people here at Doran, and it's exciting because you know that number's only going to go up.
1-1 pitch from Lardner, a hard hit ground ball to Alika Williams over at short. The throw to first base is in time, and Samuelson is retired for the first out of the inning. And another ground out from Lardner. That's the 6th ground out of 7 batters.
Yeah, and this is more of preference, but as a pitcher, I think it's always preferential to get the ground ball out because if you're a ground ball type of a pitcher, you really pound the zone right at the knees. You can get those double play outs a lot more easier if you're able to locate your pitches where you want to.
Here's Noah Cardenas from UCLA. Fouls off the first pitch out of play for a ball or for a strike, 0-1. Cardenas just coming from a College World Series appearance with UCLA in the Super Regional. 0-1 is high and outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Lardner.
Yeah, it's got to leave a sour taste in your mouth, too, if you're Cardenas. Had the chance to the number 1 overall seed. They only lost 9 games all season there, Sam. Did not even make the final 8.
Here's the 1-1 pitch from Lardner. Off speed, can't find the zone. And it's now a 2-ball, 1 strike count on Cardenas. UCLA, of course, a highly touted baseball program, one of the best in the country. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Cardenas, rocketed to center field, and there's the first hit for the Red Sox off the bat of Noah Cardenas in his first game. Gets his first hit.
Yeah, first hit for either team so far in the ball game, and it was a nice piece of hitting, too. Lardner left that pitch off speed, a little up in the zone. Lucky that all it turned out was a single, but it was a solidly hit single over the head of Alika Williams. Nothing he can do. And now this is where being a ground ball pitcher has its perks right now, Sam. 1 out, have the double play on.
R.J. Yeager now into the box, the right-handed batter against the left-handed pitcher with a runner over on first. Here's the first pitch from Lardner. It's sky to center field. Moving in on it is Judd Fabian, and he'll make the play for the second out of the inning.
That also does the trick, too, getting a first pitch fly out center field routine. That also does the job. You don't really have to be a ground ball pitcher if you're going to have that happen.
Yeah, wouldn't mind that at all. Lardner, through the first 9 batters he's seen, just 1 hit allowed, and we're back to the top of the lineup with Brad Beasley. Beasley a ground out to Alika Williams in his first at-bat. Lardner comes set. Cardenas over at first. Takes a look. Now the first pitch to Beasley on the fastball. A little too outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
And you like to see Lardner here be comfortable in the stretch. 2 outs, really nothing to worry about. Go out there, same at bat as like all the others.
1-0 is Sky to right field. Moving to his left is Kyler Fedko by the line, and he'll make the play on the fly out. 1 hit, no runs for the YD Red Sox. Going to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 0-0 score. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. 0-0 score this ball game heading into the bottom of the third inning, and Kyler Fedko will lead it off for the Braves. Fedko, a player that started opening day against Orleans and was sidelined for the next few games with an injury, and Joran had a pretty big day back yesterday.
Yeah, he did, really making a difference in his first game back, and that's why he's in the lineup right now, Sam. The opportunity is there for really solidify his spot in the outfield, and with the additions of Kerstad and Giovanni DiGiacomo, it's going to become a pretty crowded outfield, and the guys are going to be battling for some playing time.
Fedko went 2 for 3 in the second game against Chatham. Here's the first pitch he sees from Denholm, and he can't find the zone. 1 ball and no strikes. Fedko also played in the first game, came in a pinch hit situation, struck out twice. A double and scored a run in that second game. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Fedko. He rockets shortstop. It's picked up by Waddell. Throw to first, and Fedko is retired for the first out.
Yeah, and that's been the hardest hit ball I think we've seen, Sam, throughout the game. Fedko turned around on it nicely, just hit it exactly to where Waddell was, and it's a quick first out.
Now it's Judd Fabian who takes over the 8 spot. Another new face that the Braves are seeing in this lineup. Got action yesterday for his first appearance of the season. Went 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored in the second game against Chatham. Here's the first pitch to Fabian. Outside corner for a strike. Now, Jordan, you talked about it last night, but Fabian with a very unique story.
Yeah, he reclassified, which is something you'll see a lot of football players and even basketball players do in high school. He reclassified, so he graduated the semester early.
0-1, he watches for a strike, falls behind 0-2.
So he could go play with Florida, and Judd is projected, or at least was projected, to be a pretty high draft pick. And when I say pretty high, I mean, probably in the single digits in terms of the rounds.
0-2 pitch, fouls off first base side out of play. We'll stay 0-2.
And he leaves his high school. He was the Ocala Star Banner, the local news publication down there in Florida. Their player of the year in 2018. Skipped his senior season to go join the Gators.
And he'll see the 0-2 pitch from Trent Denholm in the windup. Now delivers. It's high for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the new Braves center fielder. We saw Noah Bridges play a little bit of center field. Kyle Hess getting some action in center. You have to think Judd Fabian will be the regular center fielder moving on throughout the season.
And it's so impressive. This kid is only 18 years old.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Fabian. Fouls back toward the backstop, and we'll do it again.
He should have just been graduating high school right now. And he instead, like I said, he's only 18, and he's got to be up there for one of the youngest Cable League players of all time.
1-2 pitch to Fabian, thinks about it, and it's a called strike 3. And Judd Fabian goes down. The third strikeout for Trent Denholm. And that'll bring up Cody Morissette. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the third inning. Still a 0-0 score between the Braves and the Red Sox.
And Fabian, the check swing, they said he went around on the plate, so he heads back to the dugout a little disappointed. Still looking for the first here tonight.
Morissette, the left-handed batter, fouls off the first pitch from Denholm. 0-1. He went 1 for 2 with a strikeout, last playing in the first game of yesterday's doubleheader. 125 average. He struggled through his first 19 at-bats, just 2 hits. 1 RBI, got a double against Brewster, and fouls off the second pitch. He's now down 0-2.
I think he might have just broken his bat on that one. It was close. It made a unique noise, and Sam, you and I are almost like bloodhounds when it comes to the broken bats. We can hear it a mile away. Be interesting to see here, especially if he hits another foul ball if he switches it out.
0-2 on Morissette. He'll watch that ball outside and in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, we saw Paul Gazzo break a bat in batting practice and then came out in his first at-bat against the Red Sox here tonight and also broke a bat there.
It might just be here. Maybe it's Doran Park. Maybe there's something here that is just causing the breakages.
We saw many broken bats a week and a day ago in the 2 doubleheader against Orleans. A diving catch by the third baseman, Riley Terada, off the bat of Cody Morissette. That's the 3rd out. Well, he saved a single that was going opposite field into left field off Morissette, but Terada grabs it for the 3rd out in the bottom of the 3rd. No runs, no hits for the Bourne Braves. We're speeding through this one on to the top of the 4th. You're watching Bourne Braves baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle your empty bottles, cans, and all other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap. Coca-Cola. Stepping in for the YD Red Sox, Luke Waddell, the number 2 batter. Just 1 hit for either team through 3 innings. Here's the first pitch from Mac Lardner off speed. And out of the zone, first pitch to Waddell is a ball, 1-0. That 1 hit coming from Noah Cardenas from UCLA, his first game here today. A bunt laid down by Waddell, third base side goes foul. And picked up by Xavier Warren. He'll toss that ball back into the Bourne dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike to the shortstop who grounded out back to Lardner in his first at-bat.
And I like that decision there. Go for a bunt. Why not? You know, you mentioned we're zooming through this game. Base runners are a premium.
1-1 pitch falls in the dirt from Lardner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And 2-1 here. Warren playing just about even with the bag. Do not rule the bunt out of the question.
2-1, a high swinging strike for Luke Waddell. And we'll even things up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And that's a win for Mac Lardner right there. Waddell swinging at ball 3. Now 2-2. I expect him here break it off in the dirt.
Delivery from Lardner, swung at another ground ball over to Alika Williams, who picks it up cleanly, throw to first, and there's the first out of the inning. I tell you, Alika Williams getting a ton of action.
Yeah, he's given, it's the baseball gods, give him a chance to redeem himself after that error yesterday. You know, make him show that that was a fluke of an error, which it absolutely was. But that just goes to show what a difference 1 pitch and at-bat can make. Instead of it being 3-1 in that at-bat, it moves to 2-2, and it gets Waddell real defensive, measly ground ball.
That's the 5th ground out over to short for Alika Williams through this YD lineup, and that brings up Andrew Eister. Eister in both games yesterday went 2 for 3. First pitch he watches, catches the bottom part of the zone for a strike, 0-1. Eister, of course, homered in each game for the Red Sox against Falmouth. Lost the first game and won the second. YD is now 5-4-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Lardner. Hard hit ground ball, third base side that goes into foul territory, and Eister is down 0-2.
And 0-2. And Lardner has mixed up his stuff when he leaves in the count 0-2. We've seen him break it off in the dirt. We've seen him go high and outside. I think with Eister up at the plate, they're going to try and challenge him, really challenge his perception here at 0-2. Probably go fastball up and away.
0-2 from the lefty Lardner. Eister watches that ball upstairs for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 out, nobody on. 0-0 score. Just 1 hit for YD. No hit for the Braves yet.
And that's exactly what they did, 0-2. They went fastball up and away now. With 1-2, change the eye level, go back down low.
1-2 to Eister. He looks at for strike 3, and there's the second strikeout for Mac Lardner on the mound. 2 outs.
And Lardner will take the benefit of the call there. I'm pretty sure that one was what's called the river there, Sam. That's the space in between the plate and the batter's box. And the righty Eister there, I'm pretty sure that ball crossed, like I said, in that river zone. Gaza did a nice job of framing it up for the home plate umpire. 2 outs.
Now it's Austin Wells, the cleanup batter for YD. First pitch is off speed and upstairs for a ball. Wells grounded out to second in his first plate appearance. Of course, leads the league in home runs. It's a 3-way tie with 3 homers apiece. He'll foul off the second pitch to the third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wells, Cantrell, call it with 3 home runs for YD. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Inside, can't catch the zone. And it's now a 2-ball, 1 strike count to the left fielder. Two-1 is a ball. Now a 3-ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, now 3-1, you don't want to make a mistake to this guy right here because you know the power he has.
3-1 delivery is outside and Wells lays off. It's a called strike on the outside corner. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lardner getting a little lucky there.
Yeah, he did. And Wells kind of looked back to the umpire and gave him like, are you kidding me? Like he was ready to toss that back bat back to the dugout and jog to first.
Payoff from Lardner. Wells swings at it. High fly ball to shallow left field. Xavier Warren moving back on it. And the third baseman will make the play. No runs, no hits yet again for the YD Red Sox. Heading to the bottom of the fourth inning. Still a 0-0 score. You're watching Braves baseball on YouTube. It's a pitcher's duel so far here at Doran Park for today's game between the Braves and the YD Red Sox. Bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be Xavier Warren, Alika Williams, and Alec Burleson. 1, 2, 3 due up for the Braves. And through the first 9 batters, Jordan, Trent Denholm has not allowed a single hit.
No, and the Braves will have to do something that only one team has ever done against Trenton Denholm in almost 2 seasons, and that's score a run on him. He's only given up 1 run, and it was an unearned run at that. So, like I said, base runners will be at a premium here tonight.
Here's the first pitch to Xavier Warren, who's 0 for 1. It falls in the dirt from Denholm. Warren went down looking in his first plate appearance. Denholm, a 2018 Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star. You mentioned his numbers from last year, just outstanding, not allowing a single run. Here's the 1-0. Warren watches it inside, now has a good hitter's count, 2 balls and no strikes to the Braves third baseman.
Yeah, and the question is okay, how do you produce base runners? How do you get runs on the board? It's playing small ball. It's getting deep into counts, butting guys over, and things like that.
2-0. Warren fouls off third base side, hits the screen. It's now a 2-ball-and-1 strike count. Well, you mentioned the last time the Braves went down, Cody Morris set a line out over to third on what we thought and was later confirmed to be a broken bat. And you said right after the break, you said if that bat was broken, that's a single to left field. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Xavier Warren, and he flies that one over to second base. It gets over Yeager's head and into right field, and the Braves have a hit off the bat of Xavier Warren.
And that's what the Braves, if you're a fan, you'd like to see right there out of Xavier Warren. We're waiting for him to get that back rolling again. And maybe he just took that first time through the lineup, seeing all of his stuff. And now Alika Williams, who we know is just that contact hitter in your lineup, will guarantee you a single a night, has the opportunity here to really put the Braves in business.
Williams grounded out to his own position, the shortstop in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Warren over at first. Denholm staring down the catcher. Here's the first pitch to Williams. He skies to center field. Beasley moving back on it. He's right before the track, and he'll put it away with a loud out number 1. A deep fly ball from Alika Williams, but just got under it a little too much, and that brings up Alec Burleson.
Yeah, a little unfortunate there for Alika Williams. You mentioned the ball just hung up there. Off the bat, it sounded like it had a chance to go. It's 395 out there to dead center field, the deepest part of the park, and that's exactly where Alika hit it. But now another opportunity here for Alec Burleson to really get himself out of the slump.
Xavier Warren at first already has a stolen base on the season. The Braves rank last in the Cape League with just 6 stolen bases. First pitch to Alec Burleson, a slow ground ball over to second, picked up by Yeager, flipped to second, throw to first. Burleson gets there in time. Xavier Warren was thrown out at second, so Burleson will be credited with the fielder's choice, and there's the second out of the inning. Burleson continues to struggle, Jordan.
Yeah, he's been getting on base. He walked a couple of times last night in the second game of the Chatham game. But, man, you know, he has struggled after starting off so white hot as well. Ever since that walk-off, he's just not been himself.
So it's Burleson over at first. A.J. Curtis now comes up, who grounded out to first base in his first appearance. First pitch from Denholm is off speed and curves right into the zone. A beautiful pitch from the right-hander for the Red Sox. It's 0-1.
Yeah, that was that slow breaker we saw in the first inning and really haven't seen a lot of since because of how slow it is. And the danger with having a pitch like that is if you hang it, that thing could be hit to the moon.
Curtis with an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Grounds out third base side. That's going foul. And Curtis now sees himself in a no-ball, two-strike hole. Burleson over at first, 2 outs. 0-0 score. Certainly a pitcher's duel with just one hit for either team. Mac Lardner for the Braves will be facing Riley King, Riley Terada, and Tate Samuelson. 5, 6, 7 batters for the Red Sox at the top of the 5th inning. 0-2 to Curtis. It's a called time by the home plate umpire.
And it's a good job by Curtis there. Denholm really taking his time with the delivery of that pitch. As a hitter, if you ever get a little bit too stiff up there, you always want to remain loose. You ever feeling yourself clenching up, call time, get yourself to reset. Now here we go, 0-2.
Curtis back in the box with Burleson at first. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Denholm, and Curtis stays alive with a foul ball back to the backstop. Curtis with Cal State Fullerton, batted .318 with 1 home run, 18 RBIs during his regular season. Actually stole 3 bases. We saw him hit a triple not too long ago for the only triple on this Braves team. He has some speed, which is somewhat weird for a first baseman. The 0-2 falls into the dirt, and it'll be a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Curtis.
Yeah, and if memory serves, I'm pretty sure it was in the second game of the Orleans game back last Sunday. So 8 days ago was when he hit that triple. Also, the last time Braves were here, home at Doran, and it's good to be back. It'd be nice to see a little bit more offensive action here, Sam.
Oh, it feels like forever since we've played at Doran. The 1-2 pitch is off speed, off the end of the bat from Curtis, over to second base, picked up by Yeager, and the throw to first gets Curtis. No runs on 1 hit for the Bourne Braves coming from Xavier Warren, still knotted at 0-0. To the top of the 5th we go. You're watching Bourne Braves baseball on YouTube.
At bat, number 4.
Mac Lardner back on the mound for the Braves to face the 5, 6, 7 batters for the YD Red Sox. Riley King, who's 0-for-1 with the ground out, steps in against Lardner with only 1 hit suffered on his side, coming off the bat of Noah Cardenas, the number 8 hitter for YD. 0-0 game. Here's the first pitch to Riley King, who steps in, and that ball falls way in the dirt. Actually almost came back and hit King on his left leg. It's a 1-ball, no-strike count to King. Certainly one of the fastest games we've seen. We're already in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Lardner, and King takes that ball to left center field. Moving back will be Fabian. He'll get it, cut it off before it gets to the wall. King will be halted over at first, and there's a leadoff single for the second hit of the game for the Red Sox.
And that was a nice job by Fabian cutting it off. That ball off the bat was destined for the gap, and Fabian played it well, not trying to be a superhero, trying to go out, make a diving catch, played it off the bounce, got there, and plenty of time, and limited off the bat. It looked like it would be extra bases to just a single.
Now it's Riley Terada Also 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Yeah, and a patented Lardner ground ball here would just go beautiful.
First pitch to Terada is low. 1 ball and no strikes. We saw many ground outs in the first 2 innings off the bats of the YD Red Sox. It's Riley King over at first. Terada on the season with Dayton, batted .260. As Lardner throws over to first. King gets back in time.
Yeah, I was going to say before that base hit, for all the pace of play purists out there, we have not yet hit an hour on the game time, and we are already through 4 complete innings. It's on pace to be a 2-hour game, so are you really sure we need all the pace of play implements?
1-0 pitch to Terada. He sends it to right field. Fedco moving in on it. He'll make the play routinely, and there's the first out of the inning.
And you know what that was just then, Sam? It was another broken bat.
You're right. You caught that before I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now looking back on it, that bat definitely sounded like it cracked inside. And again, what are we at?
Just
4
something
now?
in the air here? Yeah, that's 4 today, I think, if you include Gazzo's from BP.
It's got to be
We're
something.
going to have to keep a tally at this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole story last week was we didn't hear one single broken bat, and we were all away last week. And come back home to Bourne, and there's been 4 so far in the first 5 innings. First pitch to Tate Samuelson falls low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Samuelson grounded out to short in the 3rd inning. 2 hits for the Red Sox coming from Cardenas and Riley King, who's over at first right now. 1-0 pitch to Samuelson inside, and he now has a good hitter's count. 2 balls and no strikes.
And 2-0. It's a tough spot to be in as a pitcher, and as a hitter, your approach, the zone where you're expecting, where you're willing to swing, that just shrinks down. You're expecting a pitch in one spot, and if you're Lardner, you have to make a good pitch, something at the knees.
2-0 for the lefty. Lardner is rocketed third base side. That ball is fair after the effort from Xavier Warren. Riley King moving over to third. He will be stopped there. It's a double for Tate Samuelson, and now YD has runners at second and third with only 1 out.
And that's how important it is to stay ahead of counts, especially against the type of talent that we see here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. You fall behind in a count, you have to make a strike pitch, and the batters here will jump all over it. A 1-out double, right down the left field line. And now that'll bring up Cardenas, who's already gotten a single so far.
3 hits for the YD Red Sox, runners at second and third. It is Noah Cardenas, who batted .375 for a very good UCLA Bruins team in the Pac-12. 18 RBIs for him, 51 hits on the season. He comes up with a golden opportunity. Runners at second and third. Shows bunt, lays it down. Coming home is Riley King. Throw home to Gazzo is not. It is in time, but the ball came out on the slide from Riley King, and YD goes up 1-0. What a tough play at home.
Yeah, safety squeeze there from YD. We said runs would be at a premium, so why not try the safety squeeze with 1 out and a runner on third base? And that was a great play from Lardner. It was going to be bang, bang. The throw was perfect. It was right in the tagging area for Gazzo. Just a collision at home knocked that ball out. And now YD with the 1-0 lead.
And Cardenas got over to first safely. Samuelson moved over to third. So runners now at the corners for the Red Sox. Lardner facing a lot of pressure with R.J. Yeager now up at the plate. Still only 1 out. Here's the first pitch from Lardner. Yeager lays down a bunt. Coming home will be Samuelson. He'll be safe. Throw to first will be in time. It's 2-0 YD now. Another sacrifice bunt.
Yeah, we see small ball on display here at Doran Park right now. Back-to-back safety squeezes done to perfection. And just like that, those 2 hits have turned into 2 runs for the Red Sox.
Cardenas moved over to second. Back to the top of the lineup for the Red Sox, Brad Beasley, who's 0 for 2, a ground out and a fly out. We do see an arm warming up for the Braves in their left field bullpen. Cardenas over at second. First pitch to Beasley is in the dirt. Gazzo picks it up, throw to third, and now they have Cardenas in a pickle. Xavier Warren has it. Throw back to second is out. Covering was Alika Williams, the shortstop. A lucky play as Gazzo was able to catch Cardenas in the middle of second and third, trying to take the base on the wild pitch. And there's the 3rd out. But YD plates 2 runners. They lead at 2-0. We head to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. 2-0 lead for the YD Red Sox into the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a new arm on the mound for the Red Sox after Trent Denholm gives us 4 innings, 1 hit, and 3 strikeouts. A pretty productive outing for him on the Red Sox side, and they turn to John Beller, who YD hasn't seen pitch since opening day, Joran.
Yeah, and he pitched in that 4-3 loss over at Catuit. He threw 3 2/3, gave up 2 runs, both of which were earned, and they were hitting .333 off him out of USC. First appearance since then, and for the Braves, this might be a little bit of a momentum boost just because they don't have to go against Denholm anymore. They have a new arm, and they give them a chance, starting with Nick Bruiser, to get some offense rolling.
Bruiser comes up 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking via Denholm in the 2nd inning. His first at-bat against Beller. Here's the first pitch from him, and it's way inside into the dirt for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Bruiser, such a highly touted player coming out of high school, was the 2016 Gatorade Player of the Year, 2016 Max Preps National Player of the Year. He's had a tough time adjusting to college ball at Stanford so far. The 1-0 is cut on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. Actually won the 2016 National High School Home Run Derby at the All-Star Game in San Diego. 1-1 pitch to Bruiser out of Stanford. He clips it. That'll be foul, and he falls behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And we saw just what having some base runners can do for your team, especially in a game like this that's going to be very low scoring, as we are accustomed to seeing this season, Sam. It all starts with just getting that first base runner on.
1-2 from Beller. Bruiser, hard hit ground ball over to third. Terada picks it up, the long throw to first, and Bruiser is retired, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. You talk about how Bruiser has been struggling adjusting to the college level of baseball. 205 average his freshman year with the Cardinal. Raised a little bit to 224, but still not what he was hitting in high school. And he's now 0 for 2 today. That brings up Paul Gazzo, who grounded out to first on a broken bat in the 2nd. First pitch from Beller. And Gazzo watches a nasty curveball that just misses the zone. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, that was the right word, too. That was nasty. That had a ton of break on. And if he can find that pitch right at the knees, the Braves going to have a tough time hitting that.
1-0 pitch from Beller. That is outside, another off-speed pitch. And Gazzo now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, and Beller got a little bit lucky there because you know what that one was, Sam? That was the curveball that did not curve. Just kind of floated there to the zone and kind of caught Gazzo off guard there.
2-0 pitch to the catcher from UConn, and Gazzo lifts a high fly ball to center field. Beasley moving back. He's just before the track, and he'll make the play on the fly out. 2 quick outs for Beller, and he's doing his job in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yeah, and only 1 hit so far for the Braves. They were coming into this game tied for 7th in the league for batting average, just a few points ahead of Orleans, who's in currently last place. And not really helping out that stat line too much. I believe they are last in the league or near the bottom of the league in terms of runs scored as a team. Haven't played as many games yet, but still 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th, not helping.
Now Kyler Fedko comes up with the bases empty, 2 outs. He watches ball 1 from Beller. Fedko is 0 for 1, a ground out to short in his first at-bat. The Braves were last place in average going into yesterday's doubleheader. We're able to raise that a little bit. Fedko fouls off the 1-0 pitch back to the backstop. That'll even things up, 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of new faces in the lineup, Joran, we keep talking about. Takes a little bit to get adjusted to this such a competitive league. The pitching is certainly nowhere near what a lot of these kids have seen. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Fedko, off speed and high and tight. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and this Braves team are pretty much all new faces. Only a couple of returners. It's Rakowski, Alika Williams, and Jake McKenzie. But Alika Williams and McKenzie barely played last summer. So for a lot of times, it's the first time using a wood bat at this level of pitching.
2-1 pitch, Fedko fouls it off on the first base side. 2 ball, 2 strike count. 3 hits for YD, just 1 for the Bourne Braves. It's a 2-0 lead for the Red Sox. Pitching is certainly the Braves' strong suit, has been seen in the first 9 games. Beller stares down the catcher. Time is now called. He steps off the mound. Fedko takes a few practice swings, looks at his bat, and steps back into the box. Left-handed pitcher against right-handed batter. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Fedko, way off speed, and he's way out in front of it. Goes down swinging for Beller's first strikeout, and the Braves go down in order. No runs, no hits for the Bourne Braves. On to the 6th inning, a 2-0 lead for the YD Red Sox. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Braves Baseball Network. New arm for the Bourne Braves. Mac Lardner goes 5 innings, allowing 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and striking out 2, not walking a batter. And Harvey Shapiro turns to Colby Dunlop, who was a starter the last time we saw him in the first game against Orleans, Jordan.
Yeah, and he's going to be throwing to his Yukon teammates, Paul Gazzo, there behind the plate. We saw him in the first game of that Orleans doubleheader last Sunday, and the stat line form isn't too kind. 0-1 record, 7.36 ERA. 3 2/3 innings pitch. He gave up 4 runs in that start to Orleans, 3 of which were earned, 1 strikeouts, and 7 hits. And he's going to be dealt a hand here where for the next 2 or 3 innings, he's going to have to keep the YD Red Sox, who have the best offense so far on the Cape League season, he's going to have to hold them at bay.
And he will face the toughest part of the lineup. 1, 2, 3. Brad Beasley will lead it off. Luke Waddell and Andrew Eister due up for the Red Sox. Beasley was in the middle of an at-bat when Noah Cardenas was thrown out trying to take third base on a dropped ball from Gazzo behind the plate. So he will step back in to redo things against a new pitcher in Colby Dunlop. Right-handed pitcher, right-handed batter matchup. Here's the first pitch. And Brad Beasley will watch strike 1 from Dunlop. Dunlop really struggling in his first start against Orleans in the first game of their doubleheader last Sunday. A 9-0 victory for the Firebirds in that game. 0-1 is off speed and can't find the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that was a nasty curveball, too. Just missed the zone, perhaps inside there. If he's able to work that back over the plate, that's going to be a tough pitch to hit.
1-1 to Beasley. He swings at it, ground ball. Alika Williams moving to his left side, picks it up, throw to first, and there's the first out of the inning. Another ground out to Alika Williams, and he handles it with ease. 1 gone.
And he's really flashing the leather over there. All routine plays, but all not necessarily easy plays to make for Alika Williams. Putting on a clinic out here before one of the youth clinics here coming up in a couple weeks for the Braves.
You're right. Braves will teach some kids the game of baseball before their games in the coming weeks, something that's so special about the Cape Cod Baseball League. First pitch to Luke Waddell is in there for a strike on Dunlop. 0-1 count. That's now 6 groundouts to Alika Williams in today's game. He's handled every single one of them. 0-1 pitch to the YD Red Sox. Red Sox shortstop Luke Waddell, and it's inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, this is a big confidence boost right here for Dunlop. He's able to pitch a clean outing here going up against the Red Sox because you go out, you get shelled in your first start, come back, even things out.
Waddell watches the second ball of the at-bat, high and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. You heard the pop of the mitt from Gazzo. Dunlop throwing hard, has a pretty solid fastball. 2-1 pitch. Inside corner gets the call. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Waddell.
And it's be a big strikeout to get right here if you're Colby Dunlap. 2-2 with 1 away, 1 to leave. The base is empty for Eister, I should say, who's on deck.
Luke Waddell is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. The 2-2 pitch to him, ground out. Alika Williams yet again charging in, throw to first, and Luke Waddell is retired via the ground out to Alika Williams. That's now 7 plays for him. And 2 groundouts for Luke Waddell to Alika Williams. He's having a day over at short, laughing about it over at short with him and Xavier Warren. And now coming in is Andrew Eister, the DH.
Yeah, I think Warren is probably saying, hey, man, let some of us play. You know, we're out of here on the field, too. We want some action.
It's been a pretty boring day for Xavier Warren over at third. Hasn't seen a ton of action. Caught a fly ball back in the 4th. Here's the first pitch to Eister. Watches ball 1 outside. Eister is 0 for 2. A strikeout looking in the 4th, and you guessed it, a ground ball over to Alika Williams, a short in the 1st. Eister 3 home runs on the season. That number is tied for the league leading number. 1-0. Off speed, Eister, a misunderstood swing, almost a half swing. Can't pull it back. A 1 ball, 1 strike count. Dunlop is working his breaking balls in this at-bat.
Yeah, that was the you got me swing. I was expecting fastball. Oh, wait a minute. It's a curveball. It's already by the time he realizes it.
Dunlop stares down his UConn teammate Gazzo. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Eister. Ball falls low on the fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And for Dunlap here, like we said with Spencer Torkelson last night with the Anglers, who hit 2 home runs in 2 games, it's all about not making a mistake pitch 2-1.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Eister goes opposite field. Fedko moving back just before the warning track, and he will put it away routinely. The Red Sox go down in order, 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits. It's still a 2-0 lead for YD heading to the bottom of the 6th inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. The Bourne Braves would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves. Judd Fabian, Cody Morissette, Xavier Warren due up in the top of the 6th inning to face John Beller in his 2nd inning of work. First pitch to Fabian is fouled off, and we are underway in the bottom of the 6th inning. YD with a 2-0 lead on Bourne. Both those 2 runs coming in the top of the 5th inning on Braves starter Mac Lardner. Here's the 0-1 to Fabian. He watches inside. Count evens up. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, and the trend just continues to say the same here, Sam. It's always been just one bad inning for the Braves pitching staff that has led to the majority of their 5 losses so far on the year.
1-1 pitch to the Braves center fielder is off speed and curves right into the zone. A very slow pitch from Beller, and he gets the call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, I think yesterday in game 1 against Chatham, that was a little more than one bad inning. It was, I think, 2 bad innings. A 6-run second, a 2-run third. 1-2 to Fabian. Watches down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a good take right there, especially with 2 strikes there from Fabian. That pitch just missing right below the knees. Real nice discipline to watch that pitch. Now 2-2, still have to battle here, anything close.
Here's a 2-strike delivery from Beller. Fabian rockets that ball to left center field. Beasley moving toward it, and Austin Wells catches it in left center for the first out of the inning. A ball that we thought was going to possibly lay down in the gap, holds up for a little too long, and there's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and it's a shame, too, because we're in the bottom of the 6th right now, and that's been the hardest hit ball of the entire game, going up against either Denholm or Beller. And now it falls on Cody Morissette, who has the opportunity to really turn around his fortune here, given the chance to start against YD. Maybe he can get a hit here, get something going offensively for the Bourne.
Morissette now 2 for 20 on the season. He's 0 for 1 with a line out to third today, and watches the first pitch for a strike right down the middle. Morissette's line out to third was on a broken bat, and a ball that almost was able to shoot its way over into left field. Here's the 0-1 from Beller. Morissette watches that ball curve right into the strike zone for 2 quick strikes off the left hand of John Beller.
And I'll tell you what, the Braves are fooled right now by that pitch. That curveball, that big, slow curveball, they are fooled. They are having trouble seeing it out of his hand.
Beller stares down Cardenas. Here's the 0-2. It's a swinging strike 3 for Cody Morissette, who swung at a ball that was in the dirt. And he goes down for the second strikeout for John Beller. And Xavier Warren, the leadoff batter for Bourne, comes up with 2 outs, nobody on, a 2-0 lead for YD. And Jordan, with his team only having 1 hit so far, again, it's really been the storyline of the first 10 games. The batting has not been there at all.
No, it has not. And you talk about he only having a couple good games. That's been pretty much Xavier Warren and Alec Burleson's story this season.
First pitch to Warren outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, for Burleson, he came onto the scene in that game against Falmouth, really started off strong, 2 for 3 in that game. Then the second game versus Orleans is that walk-off single, but that's been pretty much it for Alec Burleson. And for Xavier Warren, it's been pretty much the same thing.
1-0 pitch to Warren, off speed and in the zone, catching the inside corner for a strike. A 1-1 count on Warren, who's 1 for 2 today, a strikeout looking in the first, a single in the fourth. He has the only hit for the Braves in this Monday evening game. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Beller. He delivers, and the off speed is in the zone right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Warren now.
Yeah, there was that big, slow curveball yet again. And, we mentioned Warren having some trouble. Not a lot of hits, but had 2 RBIs in the second game. Was the difference in that nightcap version of the doubleheader against Chatham.
1-2 pitch to Warren. The ball falls in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, and he is the only hit, like you mentioned, Sam, of the entire game so far tonight. So maybe he is pulling it back a little bit, pulling it around. Base hit here, and the confidence is a funny thing in baseball. It could go right back through the roof.
Nobody on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Beller. Curves into the strike zone, and Warren will foul it off on the first base side. He was a little late on his swing. Beller's off-speed pitches have been extremely good at finding the zone at the tail end. And Warren was able to foul that ball off. He stays in the at-bat. 2-2. Here's the next delivery from Beller. And Warren shoots that ball into the right center field gap. It's cut off by Beasley. And there's the second hit of the ball game for the Braves, both coming from Xavier Warren. He has a 2-out single. Yeah, and that was an excellent at-bat right there from Xavier Warren. Fought off 2 good breaking pitches there from Beller and shot a ball into right center field. It was a guaranteed single. And like I said, those 2 singles, Warren is kind of coming back. We're seeing him put some good contact on the ball, some good at-bats. He did his job there. Now let's see if Alika Williams here can follow suit. 3 hits in the past 2 games for Xavier Warren. And he has the only 2 hits the Braves have been able to get in this game. Here's Alika Williams. He comes up with 2 outs and a runner on first and watches the breaking ball in the zone for a strike. 0-1. And it's all out base runners here. 2 outs. Have to make something happen as the defense right now for YD playing a pretty big shift over there, especially in the middle infield. Throw back to first to check on Xavier Warren by Beller. He gets back in time. Alika Williams 0 for 2. Ground out to short in the first and a fly out to center. A long fly out to center in the bottom of the fourth inning. He's looking to get a 2-out rally started with the Braves down 2-0. 5 hits combined for either team. Beller comes set. The 0-1 pitch to Williams, and Alika fouls it off back toward the backstop. He finds himself in a no-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, Yeager, the second baseman, is playing right now in double play depth, only with 2 outs, I might add. The third baseman, Tirada, over there, playing pretty much on the line. So a big lefty shift here, a left-handed shift, I should say, for Williams, especially here with 2 strikes.
Beller hands meet at the chest. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Alika Williams, and it falls outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to the Braves shortstop, who's been seeing a lot of action in the field today. Few ground outs off the bats of the YD Red Sox over to Alika Williams from Arizona State. Here's the 1-2 pitch now from Beller. Off speed, Williams gets on it. Ground ball over to third, picked up by Tirada. Throw over to first, and Alika Williams is thrown out as the helmet comes off. 1 hit for the Braves, but Xavier Warren can't come home to score. It's still a 2-0 lead for the YD Red Sox heading into the top of the 7th inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube.
University of Arizona, Austin Wells.
The Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox lead this one 2-0 as we now enter the 7th inning. Sun has set here at Doran Park. Lights are on. What a beautiful sight it is here in Bourne, Massachusetts. Austin Wells, Riley King, Riley Tirada due up 4-5-6 for the YD Red Sox against Colby Dunlop. The first pitch to Wells falls low for a ball.
And if I may, Sam, can I let me take you on a little road trip real quick. You want to go around the Cape with me?
Wow, yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go around the Cape. We'll start in Wareham right now. The game end up on the Harbor Hawks 5-1 in that one.
1-0 pitch is fouled off by Wells, third base side. Continue, Jordan.
Yeah, Western Division matchup there. The game end beating up on the last place Hyannis team, and that's good if you're the Braves fans, if you're the Braves, because that keeps your playoff hopes in check. And the only other game since today is Makeup Monday, and that's going to be a hashtag. Katuitt and Chatham over at Veterans Field tied up at 1 apiece.
1-1 pitch from Dunlop outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Can I file to have another tour guide take me around the Cape?
Wow. I was going to say, hey, Makeup Monday. That was pretty quick. That was off the cuff right there.
I give you credit. That was pretty creative. That was very creative. 2-1 from Dunlop is Sky to right field, right where Kyler Fedko is. Has to move to his left a little bit. And there's the first out. Kyler Fedko makes the play. Austin Wells goes down for the 3rd time today. It's the first out of the 7th.
And now that brings up Riley King, who singled and later scored in that 5th inning. And we saw the small ball go into practice, and you like to see the Braves get something going there. Problem is for the Braves, only 2 hits so far tonight, Sam.
2 hits has not equated to any runs. As Dunlop stares down Gazzo, Riley King, who's 1 for 2, steps into the box. First pitch from Dunlop is down the middle for a fastball strike. Well, The Braves certainly aren't the Chatham Anglers, who had 2 hits and I believe 6 runs in yesterday's first game of the doubleheader. The 0-1 from Dunlop to Riley King. King watches for a ball, too low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Credit to the grand slam by Jamal O'Gwyn. That really lengthened the lead for Chatham. 1-1 pitch from Dunlop. King fouls it off third base side on the ground ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that was a great illustration of the phrase, you can't defend the walk, because that grand slam was created all off of walks. You load the bases up with 3 walks, and then you have one hit. It ends up being a home run, and you bring 4 runs home. And then Torkelson later that inning had a 2-run home run himself. So, it's one of those things where in baseball, small ball really pays off if you know how to do it.
Dunlop, a off-speed pitch on 1-2 upstairs to Riley King. 2 balls and 2 strikes. J.P. Woodward getting the start in that first game against Chatham. Really struggled. Sean Harney was brought in and suffered 2 home runs, including the grand slam. 2-2 to King. Actually hits him on the elbow. And he will be headed over to first. A tough pitch for Colby Dunlop, who had Riley King with 2 strikes, but now he's over at first with Riley Terada up with 1 out.
Yeah, and this is where you need a ground ball, but that's what I was saying. This another base given up for the Braves off of a non-hit, whether it be a walk or a hit by pitch, or even in the rare cases an error. You cannot defend against those things where you're giving bases away.
King over at first, not too big of a lead. First pitch to Terada is a hard swinging strike on the first pitch. Came out of the box on that swing. And it's now 0-1. 1 out, a runner on. 2-0 lead for YD in the top of the 7th inning. 0-1 from Dunlop. Terada, another swinging strike. It's now 0-2.
And this would be a nice strikeout to get here, as this looks like Dunlop's inning. No movements for either bullpen, actually, when you take a look over into right field. So Dunlop left to his own devices here. A ground ball would be oh so sweet here for the Braves.
Dunlop, the righty, comes set. Here's the 0-2 to Terada, and that ball falls in the dirt. Gazzo picks it up. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Riley Terada, who's 0 for 2, a strikeout in the second. A fly out to right in the 5th inning. Dunlop looks over at first. The 1-2 is high and tight to Terada, and that evens up the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, so you go fastball up and in on the 1-2 pitch, trying to get Terada to chase. And now the question is, what do you do here, 2-2? You'd imagine Terada is expecting probably something off speed, maybe down on the way, and that's what I'm expecting here too.
2-2. Inside corner, he gets the call. A strikeout for Colby Dunlop for the 2nd out of the inning. There's his first strikeout of the evening.
Yeah, what's the only thing that it will do, just like a double play? Oh, it's a strikeout. You don't get the 2 outs there, but keep everything in check. Add the out, the unproductive out, the strikeout. Now you have to go face Tate Samuelson.
Samuelson, who doubled in the 5th inning, comes up, throw back over to first. Riley King gets back in time. Samuelson one's 1 for 2. Mentioned that double. He came around to score in the 5th inning for the 2nd run for YD as they lead 2-0 in the top of the 7th. First pitch to Samuelson is low and inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. First time he's facing Colby Dunlop from Yukon this evening. Dunlop getting his 2nd appearance of the season here tonight, this time in relief. 1-0. Samuelson rockets a ball third base side, going foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that brings up an interesting point there, Sam. That ball was caught by the netting that extends all the way down the third base line. Are you in favor of that over at the major league level? What do you got on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty in favor of that. It keeps the safety of the fans, and it really doesn't obstruct the view too much. I mean, we are behind a net right now, and we see fine. So I think that's a good move by Major League Baseball. And the 1-1, Samuelson takes to right field. Kyler Fedko will move in on it. It bounces right before him for a single. Throws over to second. Riley King gets in there in time. So there's now the 4th hit of the game for the Red Sox. 2nd hit for Samuelson. It's a 2-out single. And YD now with runners on first and second.
Yeah, and over there at first base, Riley King, I think he forgot how many outs there are because he was standing in the middle of first and second base as if there was one out instead of, with 2 outs. What are you taught? You're taught as soon as you see the ball, as soon as you have contact, you're off to the races. So if he puts his head down, runs past, there's a possibility, and I know that it was hit shallow, but there's a possibility he's on third. And that's no small thing either here. If it's another shallow single like that, maybe that keeps him at second base. So the Braves get a little bit lucky here, but the easy solution to that is just get a ground out here with 2 away.
Noah Cardenas into the box, runners on first and second with 2 outs. He has an RBI in this game with a suicide squeeze in the 5th inning. First pitch is off speed and misses the zone, high and tight to Cardenas. 1 ball and no strikes to him. This is his first game of the summer with the Red Sox. And he's already made an impact, 2 for 2. He's reached base both at-bats he's had. Dunlop comes set. 2 outs, runners on first and second. The 1-0 to Cardenas, ground ball right back to Dunlop. He got lucky there. The underhand toss to first, and they get Cardenas. So YD leaves runner on first and second. They can't get anybody home. Still a 2-0 lead for the Red Sox. It's time to stretch as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective, exploring undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development online at www.curry.edu. Alec Burleson will lead it off for the Braves in a lineup that's been struggling all game. No runs so far for Bourne. Just 2 hits, both coming from the leadoff batter, Xavier Warren. So Burleson looking to heat things up a little bit against John Beller. First pitch he throws is in the dirt, and Burleson swings for a strike. 2-0 lead for YD in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, and it's all about base runners here for Bourne, trying to get something started here in the 7th.
Burleson fouls off a pitch back to the backstop. He now falls behind 0-2. Burleson is 0 for 2 today. A fielder's choice in the 4th inning. A line out to second in the 1st. 0-2 delivery from Beller. Burleson to shortstop on a line out. Waddell struggles with it and doesn't throw it over to first. A pretty hard hit ground ball that hung up in the air for a little bit before it bounced over to Waddell. He attempted to get out of his glove, looked like he fumbled it a little bit, and the Braves now have a base runner on a play that has been scored in error, so Burleson doesn't get the hit, but nonetheless, Braves have a runner on base.
Yeah, the Braves don't care whether that's scored a hit or an error because they have somebody on base, and they have somebody on base to lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th inning, only down by 2 runs. It's all about chipping away. If you can get 1 here, then you're thinking, okay, we could probably at least get 1 more in the 8th and or the 9th. So we'll take the air, and let's see if A.J. Curtis can keep it rolling here.
It is A.J. Curtis, who's 0 for 2. First pitch he watches is a breaking ball that falls a little too high. 1 ball and no strikes. Burleson has been able to get on base, got 2 walks in the game against Chatham, the second game of the doubleheader. Just hasn't been able to find a hit. And his struggles continue. 1-0 to Curtis. Watches another breaking ball in the zone this time for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Curtis is 0 for 2. 2 ground outs for the Braves designated hitter.
And a ground out here, Sam, would be deadly here. And do not want to give up the double play when you're having finally some offensive momentum for the first time all game.
1-1. Curtis, hard swinging strike on another off-speed pitch. Beller is really pounding the zone with his breaking balls. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Curtis.
Just have to choke up on the bat here. This is where the double play ball becomes all the more prevalent because you get a defensive swing combined with, extending the zone. Could be dangerous here for the Braves.
1-2. Curtis, hard swinging strike 3. He goes down on strikes for the first time today. Curtis will fall to 0 for 3, and there's the first out of the inning with Nick Bruiser coming up, who's 0 for 2.
Yeah, well, the strikeout beats the double play, and that's the positive there. Is that now Nick Bruiser has a chance to make an impact here in his first game as a Bourne Brave member. Maybe a little single here, get the runners at the corners. Who knows? But something better than nothing here would be preferred.
Bruiser a strikeout looking in the second, a ground out to third in the 5th inning. And the first pitch from Beller off speed yet again for a strike.
Yeah, and we said it back in the 5th inning when he came in here, and we've seen it ever since, is that the Braves just can't figure out this curveball. It's big and it's slow and it's got a ton of break on it, but something about it is just fooling the hitters enough to where they can't put a bat on it.
Bruiser, 0-1 to him. He skies to first base side, a curving foul into the trees, and he now falls behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Every single at-bat he's had tonight, he's had 2 strikes on him. Bruiser not having the debut that he imagined. You mentioned Giovanni DiGiacomo.
There it is.
It's a tough one to get down.
It is.
From LSU. Should be activated sometime soon. Watched him practice with the team in BP. 0-2 to Bruiser. Swung on and missed for his second strikeout of the evening and the second out in the bottom of the 7th.
And that just hurts to see. You get lucky, get given a gift here with an error by the shortstop Waddell, but 2 straight strikeouts, and that pretty much erases that. Now you're hoping here for the long ball here, the old bloop and blast. You sacrifice or substitute, I should say, the bloop with an error. Blast would still work here to tie this game up, but that's pretty much all you can hope for here with 2 outs.
Now it's Paul Gazzo, 0 for 2, fly out to center in the 5th and a ground out. In the 2nd, he fouls off the first pitch on the first base side back into the seats. Falls behind 0-1. Gazzo at UConn has hit 4 home runs during the regular season, 13 RBIs, 9 doubles. So he has the power to leg out an extra base hit or a home run if needed. It's Alec Burleson over at first who reached base on the air to lead off the inning. 0-1 falls inside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gazzo.
So something we might see here is that the Braves might get a little bit more aggressive, and that might be counterintuitive because you think, well, why would you get more aggressive at the plate, especially when you need base runners? The more likely you are to see a curveball goes up, the deeper you go into account. So the Braves don't know. They're only going to get 1 or 2 fastballs, might have to jump on it when they have the chance.
1-1 to Gazzo, falls outside. Noah Cardenas has to step out of his squat and block that ball so Burleson doesn't get over. It's a 2-ball, 1 strike count now to Paul Gazzo, the Braves catcher. Gazzo back into the box, taps the bat on home plate. Beller into the stretch. 2-1 delivery. Gazzo, a hard swing and a miss at a ball on the inside part of the plate. And Gazzo now down to his final strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner on. 2-0 lead for YD in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, and I think you and I could probably both guess what pitch is going to come here. It's probably going to be that big curveball, and why not? I mean, I would keep pitching it until it gets hit.
Here's the 2-2 pitch to Paul Gazzo. He flies it out into shallow center field. R.J. Yeager, the second baseman, calls off everybody and makes the play. So Paul Gazzo goes down for the 3rd time on the flyout, and that'll do it for the bottom of the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, one error committed by YD. Still a 2-0 lead for the Red Sox heading into the final innings at the top of the 8th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. RJ Yeager, the number 9 batter for YD, will lead things off in the top of the 8th inning. Then it's back to the top with Brad Beasley and Luke Waddell. Thank you for joining us on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel alongside Jordan Palacio, Sam Wiederhaft with you. A pretty dismal game for the Bourne Braves. 2-0 lead for YD, just 2 hits for the Braves coming from Xavier Warren. 4 hits for the Red Sox. And here's the pitch from Colby Dunlop, who stays in the game, to Yeager. It's skied out to the left field side, going foul. Alec Burleson was chasing it over, but it crosses the fence into foul territory. And Dunlop starts Yeager off 0-1.
And for Dunlap, what a job he's done, and not only him, but the pitching staff as a whole. It's almost the same song, second, third, fourth, fifth verse with this team, because you're going up against the best offense on the Cape right now in YD, and they've only given up to this point 2 runs off of 4 hits.
Dunlop comes set. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Yeager. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Yeager is 0 for 1, a fly out to center, and a sacrifice bunt in his last at-bat where he got the RBI. Dunlop now the 0-2. High and tight. Yeager turns his back. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Braves on the road taking on Hyannis tomorrow, the last place team in the West Division. Braves at 4-5. Hyannis still with just 1 win, and we're losing to Wareham earlier today. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Yeager. He skies it right field. Moving back is Fedko. He will be just before the warning track and makes the play in deep right field for the first out of the inning.
And good pitch there from Dunlap. Definitely want to have the bases cleared when you're going up against the meat of the order, and the meat of the order starts at the top, number 1 with Brad Beasley.
Beasley now up 0 for 3 for the leadoff batter today. Not the game he was imagining. Ground out in the first, fly out in the third, and a ground out in the 5th inning. Or 6th inning, excuse me. First pitch to him is in there for a strike from Dunlop. 0-1. Dunlop in his 3rd inning of work, coming on in relief. 0-1 to Beasley. Shoots it left field. That's curving foul. And Beasley now down 0-2. Jordan, are you surprised with how long Harvey Shapiro has left Colby Dunlop in the game?
Yes and no. Yes, because as a reliever, you probably have a max of 3 innings, so this could be it, maybe, but there's no one warming up right now for the Braves. But Dunlop isn't necessarily a reliever. He's a starter.
Beasley fouls it off first base side.
You know, and this is going to go down as if he pitches the rest of the way through. So if he pitches the rest of the 8th and the rest of the 9th, this is going to go as his longest appearance. He only went 3 2/3 in his start against Orleans, and he's been great so far here tonight.
0-2 pitch to Beasley, cut on and chopped third base side, going foul. He'll see another 0. It's been a long day for the Braves. They had their golf outing earlier today. Playing a little bit of golf, raising money for the organization. An annual event, and the game being pushed back an hour later, starting at 7:02. That ball is shot over into left field. Burleson will come under it, and that's the second out of the inning.
Ball hit hard off the bat, but it's right to Burleson over there in left field. Nicely done. And now you could get Luke Waddell here in the top of the eighth. If you're able to get a 1-2-3 inning, that's a big win. If you're Dunlop and the Braves pitching staff and have to make something happen here with the bottom three due up in the bottom half of the inning.
Waddell 0 for 3 with 3 ground outs, 2 of them being to Alika Williams at short. First pitch from Dunlop, and he sends it over to left field. Burleson moving to his right. He'll dive and make an incredible catch. Alec Burleson, are you serious? A spectacular play in left field, and Burleson gets the third out in the top of the eighth. Well, if there's no highlights for the Braves in this game, that'll certainly be one. Alec Burleson shows the glove, and the YD Red Sox go down in order. 9-1-2. We head into the bottom half of the eighth inning. Braves still down 2-0. You're watching Bourne Baseball on YouTube. Kyler Fedko, Judd Fabian, Cody Morissette, all due up for the Braves in the bottom half of the eighth inning, running out of chances, down 2-0. Alec Burleson with an incredible diving catch in left field, left the ground and made a spectacular diving play. Burleson has been itching to play for a while. We mentioned the amount of rainouts that the Cape Cod Baseball League had from Wednesday on out, with the Braves finally returning to action yesterday for the doubleheader against Chatham. And in a game that was supposed to be played on Saturday, Burleson actually got out a rake and was attempting to try and dry this field just because he wanted to play that bad. Here's the first pitch to Kyler Fedko from John Beller, who remains in the ballgame. That pitch is a strike on Fedko, who's 0 for 2. A defensive change over in second base. RJ Yeager comes out. Drew Swift comes in. 0-1 to Fedko. Chops it over on first base side. It's going foul. Now 0-2.
Yeah, and 0-2 counts not where you want to be, especially when you're down by 2 runs and have to generate anything to get some base runners on the board here for the Braves. Only 2 base runners throughout the entire game, thanks to Xavier Warren's 2 hits.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to the Braves 7-batter. Kyler Fedko swung on and missed. He goes down for the second time via the strikeout, and that will bring up Judd Fabian. You mentioned just 2 hits for the Braves, both coming from Xavier Warren. He hit a single in the 4th and a single in the 6th, but that's been the only offensive production the Braves have been able to get on Trent Denholm, who went 4 innings in this game, and now John Beller, who's in his 4th inning of work. Judd Fabian comes in. He's also 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. First pitch is high and outside for a ball.
And it looks like it's not going to be Morissette on deck right now. It's Jake McKenzie who might step in there for Morissette just in case. Get the lefty on righty matchup here. But Judd Fabian has the opportunity to get something started, maybe a little blue blast action here in the 8th.
0-1 to Fabian. Fouls it off, and he now is down 0-2. McKenzie with 1 homer on the season so far. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, the crowd here at Doran Park here in pretty sizable force, looking for something to cheer about. Finally had something with that diving catch from Burleson, and now, some offensive action here in the bottom half of the 8th would sure be nice.
1-1 count. Check that on Judd Fabian. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Beller. Fabian watches it catch the inside part of the zone for a strike, and now he's down 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And right now it looks like Joshua Culliver is warming up in the Braves bullpen right now, and he's been a stud all season long. He might be on to close it out in the 9th.
1-2 pitch to Fabian. Ball curves right into the zone for strike 3. Fabian now goes down. That's the 2nd strikeout on him looking, and that will bring up Jake McKenzie pinch hitting for Cody Morissette. McKenzie, in his last game, played in the first game of the Chatham doubleheader, went 0 for 3 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Batting .235 on the season, 4 for 17, 3 RBIs. We mentioned that home run against Harwich last week. Here's the first pitch to McKenzie. Inside, jumps out of the way, and it actually hit him. So the Braves have a base runner in Jake McKenzie now with 2 outs, and Xavier Warren with 2 hits already in this game coming up.
And let's see if it will. Yeah, it is going to be Warren. And Warren from the right side here. That's where he hit his home run. Wouldn't that be something right now, Sam? Big time moment in the game. Only have 4 outs left to go. If you're able to get a home run here, maybe just something, an extra base hit, something to get excited about, some momentum moving toward that bottom of the 9th.
The only 2 batters that have home runs for the Braves, batting back-to-back in McKenzie and now Xavier Warren, who homered against Falmouth earlier on in the season. Warren 2 for 3 with 2 singles. The only hits for the Braves comes up here in the bottom of the 8th. Beller throws back over to first to Samuelson. McKenzie gets back in time. Just checking on him, we mentioned this Braves team with only 6 stolen bases. The lowest team in the Cape so far in this early season. Warren batting from the right side, watches the first pitch inside and low, bounces away from Cardenas. He picks it up before McKenzie goes anywhere. It's a 1-0 count on Xavier Warren.
And I'd be shocked here with 2 outs if they have anything drawn up in terms of steals. No reason to try and throw yourself out of an inning or run yourself out of an inning. Leave it up to Xavier Warren. McKenzie's going to be running on contact here. Ball placed in the right spot might score him.
1-0 pitch to Warren, off speed and curves, just missing the zone, a little high. 2 balls and no strikes to Warren now. A solid hitter's count for the only batter that's been able to get a hit in this game for the Braves.
Yeah, and that pitch just missed in the zone. And once again, we see the difference. There's a big difference between a 2-0 count if you're the hitter and a 1-1 count if you're the pitcher here. Let's see if Warren can get something to hit here 2-0.
2 outs in the inning, 2-0 lead for YD. The 2-0 to Warren is a fastball that catches the zone. On the inside and low part of the plate, it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
And that was an unhittable hit there, Sam, right down and in, right on the knees, and I'm afraid that might be the best pitch he sees all at bat.
John Beller, in his 4th inning of work, came on in relief of Trent Denholm, who went 4 innings, just allowing 1 hit. To the Braves, the 2-1 pitch to Warren. He takes that ball to right field. Moving in is going to be King, and he will put it away for the 3rd out of the inning. The Braves leave 1 base runner on in Jake McKenzie. We head to the top of the 9th. YD leads this one 2-0. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Colby Dunlop is done for the Braves after 3 innings pitched, just allowing 1 hit and striking out 1. No earned runs on his part. Jordan, the Braves turn the ball over to Joshua Culliver.
Yeah, and Culliver, who we said is a stud in this bullpen and is a stud among many studs in this pitching staff, has got 2 appearances so far. He's given up 1 run. That was a controversial home run, kind of one of those is it fair, is it not fair type of home run balls. And he last pitched 2 scoreless innings against Orleans last Sunday in that doubleheader. Has an opportunity here just to keep the game in check and hopefully give the Braves an opportunity to only be chasing 2 runs.
Andrew Eister will be the first batter he faces, and Eister watches strike 1 on the outside corner. It will be Eister, Wells, and King, 3, 4, 5, due up for YD to try and get some insurance. A 2-0 lead for the Red Sox, and Eister cracks one over to second base. A broken bat. Cody Morissette is there on the fly out, and Morissette will put it away for the first out.
Well, there you go. That's number 5, I believe, today, Sam, on the broken bats. We're halfway up to 10.
Something about Doran Park.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because it's a little colder. I don't know. Sun goes down. Temperatures kind of cool off a little bit. Not sure.
Another broken bat, and now it's Austin Wells. Wells swings at the first pitch and fouls it off back toward the backstop. 0-1. Well, Jordan, we haven't mentioned yet, this is the Braves' first 9-inning game in a week since last Monday against Harwich. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Wells. Wells swung on and missed for strike 2, 0-2. The Tuesday game against Brewster was shortened because of fog. It was an 8-inning game. And everything else getting canceled Wednesday through Sunday. And Chatham, those 2 games last night were both 7 innings. The 0-2 is upstairs for a ball and the fastball from Culliver. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's a good pitch there from Culliver, and we know what his signature pitch is. It's his fastball that he's got kind of a weird grip to. It's kind of like almost a palm ball the way he throws it. Here, going up against him, 1-2.
1-2 is a ball. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out in the top of the 9th. 2-0 lead for the Red Sox, who look to move to 6-4-1 on the season. 2-2 to Wells. Wells skies it left center field. Moving back is Burleson back to the track, and Burleson will make the play on the flyout. There's 2 outs for Joshua Culliver on the mound.
And that was nice by Burleson. Kind of lost it. It looked like a little bit in the lights based on the way he was moving. Wind is whipping around over there in left field, so he had to battle the wind, had to battle the lights. That was a nice job here for Burleson to make the second out.
Riley King now steps up. King is 1 for 2, a single, and came around to score in the 5th. Was last hit by a pitch in the 7th inning. Now faces Culliver for the first time. Culliver, one of the best arms out of this bullpen for the Braves. A ground ball over to Alika Williams. Dives, he can't get it. It skips over into left field. So Alika Williams, we've seen him glove 7 groundouts. Can't get it on the diving effort, and it's a 2-out single for Riley King. He is second of the game.
And that's just unfortunate there for Alika Williams because he made the dive. His glove was in the right spot, but the ball just bounced over the glove. There's not a whole lot you can do. You commit to your glove being in one spot right against the ground. The ball takes a bad hop, jumps right over the glove, and it's a 2-out base runner now. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here for YD.
It's a new batter for the Red Sox with over at first, Riley King. The first pitch to Jack Wold is inside for a ball. Wold comes into this game batting .323. 10 hits for him on the season. Here's the first pitch, 1-0, and Wold skies that ball to straightaway center field. Fabian moving back, gets under it, and puts it away. 1 hit for the YD Red Sox for their 5th hit of the game. It's still a 2-0 lead. We head to the last chance for the Bourne Braves, the bottom of the 9th. You're watching Bourne Braves baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the ninth inning, Braves down 2-0 to the YD Red Sox and have been ever since the top of the fifth inning. They now enter their final 3 outs. It's Alika Williams, Alec Burleson, and A.J. Curtis coming in. No hits for those 3, just 2 hits in the ballgame, both coming from Xavier Warren. Jordan, it's been another story of this lineup really struggling, and John Beller will remain on the mound for the YD Red Sox for his 5th inning of work, coming on in relief, and this is a save situation.
Yeah, so we come down to this. It's been the same story, second, third chapter for the Braves here, just trying to get base runners out. That's all you can really do right now.
First pitch to Alika Williams is a swinging strike on an inside pitch. 0-1. Alika Williams 0 for 3 so far with 2 ground outs and a fly out. So he's not enjoying this game so far.
Yeah, and actually, Sam, I'm looking, just double-checking the rules here. Actually, it's going to be Beller who's in line for the win because he's about to throw his 5th inning. So if he finishes inning out, he's going to get the W.
0-1. Williams watches right down the middle. Now falls behind, no balls and 2 strikes. A beautifully pitched game by the YD Red Sox. It was Trent Denholm, the Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star from last year, only allowing 1 hit, striking out 3, no earned runs, and Beller coming on in relief. 0-2, Williams fouls off, stays alive. Beller pitching 5 innings. He's also allowed 1 hit, no earned runs on his part. And if the Red Sox can get out of this, they've only used 2 pitchers in this game. That's so important.
Yeah. That might be the biggest win of the night for the Red Sox.
0-2 to Alika Williams outside. He lays off. It's a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes to the shortstop for the Braves. Williams, we talk about it. The Braves might not have for much longer, heading for Team USA tryouts in a few days. Those tryouts take 10 days. Might come back with the team, he might not. Here's the 1-2 pitch to him. Off speed, got him swinging. So Williams goes down on the strikeout for the first out of the bottom of the ninth, and that'll bring up Alec Burleson, who's also 0 for 3.
0 for 3, reached on air. Actually, he's reached base twice, one via the fielder's choice, once on air, his last time up in the 7th inning. And, it's just another opportunity here. Have to get on base, have to just make something happen. That's what YD did when they scored their 2 runs. Now it's the Braves' turn.
First pitch, Burleson fouls off the inside part of the bat on the third base side, out of play. He starts off this at-bat 0-1. Burleson talking with the umpire. Still 0 for 3. Here's the 0-1 pitch to the left fielder for the Braves, and he fouls it off on the third base side, out of play yet again. And he'll fall behind 0-2.
It's a shame, Sam. You haven't been given a chance to flash a leather a little bit.
I brought the glove today because our beat reporter, Carson Field, got a foul ball in our spot yesterday, so I brought the glove just in case. 0-2 to Burleson, fouled right back to – now, if that screen wasn't there, I could have had a chance, but the screen is there. It stops it. Burleson's still 0-2. It's a tough foul ball spot for us, Jordan. It's not really a lot of room from the end of the net to where we are. Here's the 0-2 to Burleson. Off speed, got him swinging, and Burleson goes down yet again tonight. He moves to 0 for 4. He only reached base on an error. And the Braves now down to their final out. It'll be a pinch hitter for A.J. Curtis, who was in the on-deck circle, but Harvey Shapiro switches things up and brings up Jimmy Glowenke.
And Glowenke comes in now. He played yesterday in the game against Chatham and has the opportunity here just to start something. Braves down to the last out. Why not use a different batter here, trying to spice it up?
First pitch from Beller to Glowenke. He swings at the first pitch. This should do it. Ground ball over to Waddell. Throw to first. And that's the ball game. The YD Red Sox have a dominant victory over the Bourne Braves 2-0 here at Doran Park.
Yeah, dominant was the right word because the Braves could not do anything offensively, and I mean quite literally anything. 2 hits, both by the same person, to get on base via the air. I think only 4 total base runners in the game. So when you have that kind of night offensively, you're never going to win a game.
For the RBIs on the YD Red Sox side, it's an RBI for R.J. Yeager and an RBI for Noah Cardenas, who both got those on suicide squeezes. And Joran, the Red Sox playing a little bit of small ball here today in a low-scoring affair. They end up getting their 2 runs on 2 sacrifice bunts.
Yeah, and that's what I always love small ball because it can kind of come out of nowhere and it can be so effective in a game because of how it's used. You get a base hit, a couple base hits, drop down a couple bunts, and you won the game. And that's when you can do when you have great pitching staffs like both these teams do. And again, no fault to the pitching staff. If you're a pitching coach like Ace Adams for the Braves and you only give up 2 runs, you're leaving that game happy because they did their job out there.
So the Braves fall 2 games behind 500 to a 4-6 record. YD moves up to 6-4-1. The Braves still in that 4th spot in the West Division. The Braves will head on to Hyannis tomorrow to take on the 1-8-1 Harbor Hawks. And Joran, after a performance like this, a tough batting performance, only getting 2 hits, both of those coming from Xavier Warren. How do you bounce back against a team like Hyannis, who's certainly struggling so far?
Well, I think it's the perfect team to bounce back against because Hyannis is struggling. They've only won 1 game out of their first 11, assuming they did actually go on to lose that game. They were playing earlier against Wareham, and that's all you can really do. You have to just find a spot to kind of get the roller coaster that is a baseball season to kind of go back on the upswing and back into a situation where you can start hitting the ball again, like we saw in that game against Falmouth, which we thought maybe the first couple games in the season prior to the Falmouth game, maybe those were the fluke, and now maybe it's starting to look like that Falmouth game might be the fluke there, Sam.
John Beller comes on in relief for the YD Red Sox and gets the victory for them. 2-0. YD wins this one at Doran Park. The Braves will be at Hyannis tomorrow to take on the Harbor Hawks. Alongside Jordan Palacio, this has been Sam Wiederhalf saying, have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel.